Seven Network has announced the homecoming of Matt White, one of Australia's most respected broadcasters, in a new cross-platform role. After a decade as a familiar face on Seven, White returns to the network ahead of a blockbuster 2026 sport lineup to take on a key presenting role with 7 News Sydney and 7 Sport. White will front Seven's expanded NRL coverage in 2026, serving as a key 7 News sport presenter, delivering authoritative analysis on the latest NRL news across bulletins nationwide each night. He will also join Seven's exclusive coverage of the highly anticipated Rugby League World Cup 2026 in October and November, and will contribute to Seven's new program, NRL Agenda Setters, connecting fans with the biggest breaking news stories and best analysis impacting the game. White will return to the 7 News Sydney Sports desk on Sunday, January 18th, before focusing on the 2026 NRL season start. White's return also reunites him with 7 News Sydney sports anchor Mel McLaughlin after the pair first worked together more than a decade ago, creating a formidable sports presence in Sydney and bringing together two of the leading authorities in Australian sports broadcasting. White said, "It's a huge privilege to be rejoining Seven at such an exciting time for rugby league. 7 News is the home to the best newsmakers in the business, and I'm genuinely pumped to be part of what's next for the network's NRL coverage. Jumping into Seven's Rugby League World Cup 2026 coverage later this year is the icing on the cake. I can't wait to get started and connect passionate footy fans with the sharpest insights and stories from across the game." Seven's Director of News and Current Affairs, Ray Kuka, said, "Matt's return to Seven is a homecoming for one of the most respected voices in Australian sport. His reputation, knowledge, and energy make him the perfect fit, while his deep understanding of the NRL, combined with his ability to cut through the noise and explain the game with clarity and authority, will strengthen our formidable newsroom. This is a game-changing addition for 7 News Sport and for viewers." Seven's Director of Network Sport, Chris Jones, said, "Matt is smart, dynamic, and insightful in the way he covers the game. Bringing him into the fold across 7 News, our Rugby League World Cup 2026 coverage, and our wider NRL programming is a huge cup for 7 and for fans." Mel McLaughlin said, "We're so excited to have Matty back in the Sydney newsroom. We go way back, and I know how much he absolutely loves it. He's a huge asset, and we're lucky. Easily one of the best in the business. Can't wait for a massive year with him as part of our awesome team." White is one of Australia's most accomplished and versatile broadcasters, with a career spanning more than 3 decades across television, radio, and print. He has hosted and commentated on some of the world's biggest sporting and news events, including Olympic and Commonwealth Games, Supercars and Formula One Championships, Australian Open Tennis, US Open Golf, and major motorsport series. White is widely recognised as a founding face of Sports Tonight and has held senior management roles in Australian television, including head of sport at Network 10. Beginning his career at the Manly Daily before moving into radio and then television, White went on to spend a decade at Seven, where he became a familiar face to Australian audiences. During this time, he anchored coverage of the Athens, Torino, and Beijing Olympic Games, hosted Today Tonight, and fronted Seven's award-winning motorsport broadcasts. He also led major live events such as the royal wedding of Prince William and Catherine Middleton.